Hello and welcome to City Beat. I am Greg, your host from the Lewiston City Library. Joining me today is Sherry Vogel from the Senior Nutrition Kitchen Manager and Brandon Beach Johnson from Parks and Recreation. How are you folks doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you for coming on the show.
I think I know you.
We have met once or twice before, I believe, perhaps.
Just once or twice, though.
Yeah,
Just once or twice.
That's it.
So Sherry, can you tell us a little bit about yourself first? So you're kitchen manager for Senior Nutrition. What does that entail? What exactly do you do in a day?
In a day, I get to oversee everything that goes on in the kitchen. As of right now, I have 4 drivers and 3 people in my kitchen, and we are responsible for making nutritional food for the seniors in the Lewiston area.
Great. And so that's kind of my next question. What is Senior Nutrition?
Senior Nutrition is, well, we're sponsored by Community Action, first off, and through the Lewiston Parks and Recreation. And we're 8.5 years strong through Lewiston Parks and Rec, but through LCSC, I believe it was 20 years, correct?
Yeah, so it's been, Senior Nutrition's been in the Valley for, about 20 years, and 7.5 years ago, we took it over at Parks and Rec. So it was ran by LCSC, and then it is now ran at the community center by Lewiston Parks and Recreation.
That's great. And when is Senior Nutrition available?
We have 2 different meal sites. We have one actually right down at the community center, and then we also have one up at the Orchards Methodist Church. And it is available. We do the in-home Monday through Friday with the option to be able to have frozen food throughout the weekend, so they are never without food through us. And then we also have a buffet on Wednesday, which is our biggest. We have between 150 and 200 people show up every Wednesday for our buffet. And we offer 2 main meals, 5 salads, 2 desserts, and vegetables, everything. And it's by donation only. And it's a suggested donation over 60 for $4, and anybody under 60, it's a $5 donation. And it's everybody's welcome down there. And then on Monday and Tuesday, we also have our, where we just serve out from the window to also both seniors and people under as well for the same price.
Now, do you do 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Or is it mainly lunches, dinners? How does that work throughout a typical day?
Well, it depends on the day. Monday through Thursday is basically lunch. But on Friday, we do what's called frozen meals for them. So on Friday, anybody that we deliver to, we also do frozen meals throughout the weekend for them. Like I said, so they don't have to make food for themselves even on the weekends. We provide that for them if they choose.
Now, who can participate in the Senior Nutrition program? You kind of mentioned some ages and then deliveries. How does the whole thing work together?
The ages is the 60 and up for the home deliveries, but there is, don't they have to be some sort of income or disability type?
Yeah, there are some paperwork to be done. Because it's through Community Action Partnership, and those are all federal dollars, there are some regulations. More information if you call our kitchen number and talk to Sherry one-on-one, or potentially have a caregiver call down to the community center in our kitchen, and those details are pretty lengthy, and so we can definitely help out more if they call us at the community center in the kitchen specifically, and that phone number is 743-6983, and they can ask for Sherry about that information.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I've always been kind of curious about that. I mean, I would love to have meals delivered to home, but I probably don't qualify
You're not
yet.
60 or older
Maybe
yet.
59
and a half.
maybe. Okay, we'll give them that half.
Where can the community find the Senior Nutrition Program meals? I mean, you mentioned meal sites. How do they get there? What's the process? Like, say I want to come down for lunch one day. I've never been in before. What am I looking for, and how does it work?
You just come down to the community center at 1424 Main Street, and we have a cafeteria inside there right across from the Parks and Rec
Admin
desk.
offices, yeah.
Yep. And all you have to do, you don't have to do anything. It's anybody is welcome. You don't have to be over 60. You can be under 60 and go down too. And the way I see it is, where else can you go in the valley for $5 and get a buffet?
Often people ask me what my favorite day at work is, and it's always Wednesday because there's a buffet there.
That's right.
That sounds. I might be coming down on
Yeah.
Wednesdays. What
Come
time?
on.
What time are the meals? I mean, that's another question I was having. Is it like a specific hour, like noon to 1? How do folks get in, get out?
When we serve through the window, it starts at 11:30, and on Wednesday it starts at 12.
And then it
Nope.
goes.
No, I'm
On
opposite.
Mondays and Tuesdays,
It's
yeah, it's noon, and then on Wednesdays for the buffet we start at 11:30.
I knew I had a 50-50 chance to get
Exactly.
it right.
Well,
I've only been there a month, so I'm still in the learning process myself.
Oh, you're doing great. And so how long does it go for? You know, say it opens at noon, you come in 12:30, 1. What time does the window or the buffet break down?
When everybody's gone.
Oh, so depending on the crowd that day, it could potentially go
Yeah, we
throughout
don't
the
pull
afternoon.
any of the food until everybody is done eating. So, I mean, you can come in if we're still there at 1 o'clock and the food is still out on the table, come on in.
Oh, that's
We'll
good to
never
know.
turn anybody away as long as the food is out there.
And the buffet sounds great because I'm assuming it's all you can eat. And so as long as the food's still out there,
That's right.
I may just have found my new Wednesday lunching
Well,
spot.
we have great, because obviously it has to be nutritional for, the majority of the people who come in there. So, I mean, it's a very well balanced, like yesterday we did turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing and corn, and then we had
Pasta salad,
pasta salad.
green salad.
No, it was a pea salad.
Well, there's also lettuce with cheese and ranch salad.
Oh, that was a coleslaw.
Oh, coleslaw salad.
You guys are making me really hungry is all I can say.
And then we had 2 desserts. We did a cherry buffet, parfait, and also a chocolate pudding.
That sounds delicious.
Yes.
And so I know we mentioned kind of delivery. I'm assuming, is that the Meals on Wheels program? Or is that a different delivery system program?
It is completely different.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
a different. So there are in the valley. There's 2 different meal delivery systems. One is through us at Community Center in Parks and Rec, and that's the senior nutrition. And then the Meals on Wheels itself is actually ran through the hospital, and it's its own organization. It's funded completely different, with obviously similar ideals and goals as far as making sure that our seniors are taken care of, especially ones that want to stay in their house. So the goals are the same. The funding's completely different, which means paperwork's different, phone numbers are different. So yeah, ours is specifically called Senior Nutrition, with the congregate meal sites at the community center and at the United Methodist in the Orchards, and also our home delivered meals Monday through Friday.
Well, that's good to know because for me, just average Joe off the street, I would assume home delivery is Meals on Wheels and not make the connection. So it's fantastic for our community that there are options and like you said, taking care of folks who can really use the help.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, for me, it's a little bit near and dear to my heart because of my parents. So they're in their 80s, and Mom and Dad they were very into the Potler Center over in Clarkston. Like, my dad was the president, Mom was the secretary. So it's kind of like, it means a lot to me because my parents are older, and I wish they could use something like this because they need it. And they live in a really small town now, so they don't even have the option for that. So I take it very personal and very wholeheartedly.
That's great. So where does the funding come from? You mentioned it a little bit. How do we fund our senior nutrition program here in the city of Lewiston?
So, like I had mentioned earlier, Community Action Partnership is our funding source. However, and it's all federal dollars, and so we have to apply. There's a 3-year block where we can apply to be a meal site on behalf of Community Action. But however, we will always take donations, and that ultimately is going to help us buy product, buy food, help with delivery itself. So just because we do get federal dollars doesn't mean it's 100% covered. So donations are gladly accepted, and those can be made at the community center. A great story is I had a gal come in, this was last year. She was at the front desk just asking questions about what we do as far as meals, and so I was explaining what senior nutrition is and where we get the funding, and she liked what I had to say and what we were doing at Parks and Rec, and she ended up donating $5,000. She just wrote a check and said, "I think this is great. Here you go," and that helped us out a lot. As we buy product, for example, the at-home delivery trays, those get more expensive as we have to buy those. Those aren't donated to us. So stuff like that, where we are physically having to buy product to send to people to their homes. I mean, that stuff's going to help us out. None of it would go to administrative costs. It would go directly to the program itself. And the best part about the gal that donated the money, her name legally was Anonymous.
Wow.
Her name was Anonymous. And I laughed when I saw the check, and I was like, wait a sec, it was real. Her real name was Ann. She got divorced and hated her husband's last name, so she officially changed her name to Anonymous. She wrote a $5,000 check.
And very philanthropic of her as well.
Yes.
That's great. One of my last questions here is why and how can people become involved with the senior nutrition program?
Well, for me, I think it's all about, lasting friendship. I mean, you're going to find so many people down there that it's just like a little family. I mean, they all know each other. They all get along really well. They all laugh and joke and have a good time. Some of them stay after and play games and, crochet or, it's just a fun place for everybody to go. And for me, it would be nice to have something like that, When I get older, I hope there's something like that there so I can get out of the house, be around other people.
Yeah, and one of our philosophies and goals at Parks and Rec is it's about building relationships from preschool all the way to 50 plus and active. And our senior nutrition program and our buffet on Wednesdays is a perfect opportunity for us to continue to build relationships with all of our population in Lewiston. And so them building relationships with each other and us as staff and the department building relationships with our participants is huge. And we enjoy seeing the same crowd come in and being able to say hi and wave. And if they have questions, we can answer them and be a part of their lives as they are a part of ours. And again, that relationship building is a huge part of our philosophy and our mission at Parks and Rec. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to do that on a weekly and daily basis.
And one thing I might add too is my sons go to school here in the area, and recently the senior nutrition program has been delivering hot lunches for them as kind of a pilot program, and they've really enjoyed it. And every time I see chicken fried steak on the menu, I join my sons for lunch every day for that day and donate my money to make sure that we can keep that program going.
Fantastic.
Yes, it would be nice to get some more schools to get involved with our meals as well.
Yeah, and so we do that. It's a great segue because we do some catering as well. So if there's organizations that have questions about food itself, about us catering, we are expanding into that realm as well. And we're excited. Again, and we've talked about this several times on City Beat, Greg and I, about just our role between Parks and Rec or with you in the library. It's about the community. It's about serving our community and providing the things that we need to do to make this an amazing place to grow your kids up and to retire and do business here. And so we feel like we're just one important part of that, kind of an anchor to what we're doing in the entire community.
Well, I think you're both doing a fantastic job. So
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Is there anything else that we haven't got to touch on yet today that you would like to talk about with our Senior Nutrition Center?
Well, I just
or Senior
wanted-
Nutrition Program? I apologize.
Well, I want to actually plug my head cook. Her name is Tia DeBoard, and she has been there 4 years
4 years,
now,
yep.
and I've gotten nothing but rave reviews for her cooking. She actually had a gentleman yesterday come in and give her a big pat on the back and said, I'm so glad you come in as early as you do because the food here is awesome. So I just wanted everybody to know that, she's been here 4 years and she does a great job, and I appreciate her very much.
Mm-hmm. And she started out as a seasonal part-time employee and has, over the last 4 years, has worked her way up. As our former staff has retired, she's stepped right in and, without missing a beat, as a matter of fact. So it's been fantastic to have Tia on board with us as well.
Well, Sherry Beach, it's been great having you on the show today. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And from the rest of our staff here, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on City Beat.